What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, you'll now be creating a sketch illustration of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. Let's begin today's lesson by sketching a circle in the center of our page to define the size of our drawing. Now to help us draw that circle, we're going to add a couple of guidelines. So we start at the very top, we're going to draw a line coming down the center of our page. So I'm going to bring that all the way down towards the bottom. Now in the center, draw another line going across from left to right. Now we're going to use these lines to help us create that circle. So from the center, we'll step up, just going to mark off the top of our circle with a line. Let's take that same distance down towards the bottom. Now we want to repeat that same process across this horizontal line. So taking this distance over towards the left and right side. Now I want to connect the center of each point with a curve to create our circle. So we'll start with the top left. Now the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to get the right size and placement in the center of our page. Go back and just smooth this out. Now with this portrait, we're going to tilt the head forward and over towards the right. So let's start with that eye line. So the eye line would normally sit along this horizontal line. So we step up on the left. Just going to curve this down, go across, and just up slightly on the right side. And because we're turning the head over towards the right, that center line is going to shift over towards the right. So we'll start from the very top. I'm going to curve this over, come down, and now I'm just going to extend this down and over towards the left, towards the bottom of the head. Now you want to duplicate this line down below. I'm going to start over on the left, curve this down, and then up. Now that this line becomes the center of the head, we're going to leave a gap and step over towards the left. We're going to sketch a circle, starting from that top line, coming down, and then back up. This will be for the left eye. Now the right eye is going to sit beside the center line. So over on the right, we're going to draw an oval. So we come in, come down towards the same height, then back up towards the top. Now you want our character looking towards us. So we're going to push the iris and pupil towards the top left side. So starting on the top left, let's draw an oval. Coming down, and then back up. Now you don't want to get too detailed in this stage. Go over towards the right and do the same thing. Now we're just going to tuck this in on the side. And now we want to draw the profile edge of the nose. We're going to start from the top of the eye. I'm just going to angle this down, in towards that center line. Curve this out towards the side of our circle, bring this down and back in toward that center line. Let's move down and draw the top edge of the mouth. I'm going to follow this curve on the top edge, curving this across. From the ends, I'm just going to pull this in and round out the bottom. Now from here, I'd like to draw the profile edge of the head. So we're going to start from the top, come down and in towards the eye, come down towards the cheek. I'm just going to pull this back in toward the center line, curve this down, and then in. Let's go to the left side of our circle, draw a straight line coming down towards the jaw. Now I want to bring this down towards the same height as the mouth. Curve the chin, coming down and back in towards the center. Now the ear is going to sit over on the side. So we're going to start from the top. Let's draw a half circle, going out and then in. Now along the top of that center seam, let's draw the hairline. I'm going to bend this up and then down towards the left, go up, and then bend that down towards the right side. Let's go back and add a little bit more detail and shape to the eyes. We're going to start with the top of the eyelid. Just going to clip off the top edge. Do the same thing on the right. Now from the inside, we're just going to angle this down and then in. Let's go to the bottom of the eye, down, just round out the bottom. Do the same thing over on the right. Now just up above the eyes, let's draw the eyebrow. We're going to step in, just going to angle this up and out towards the top, and go straight across towards the side, towards the end of the eyebrow. And then from the inside, I'm just going to curl up the brow, going in towards that center line. Let's move over towards the right, angle this up and out, and go straight out towards the side. Now on the left side, let's add some hair coming down the side of the head. So we'll start at the top, go out. Just going to pull this down around the eye and then in towards the cheek. Let's add a point. Going out. And we'll add one more point. Going all the way around and back up. Let's add some hair coming out from the right side. So we're going to start up here, come down and up. Bend this back in. Curl this one down and up. We'll add one more going out and back in. Now we're going to add some volume to the top of the head. Let's start back over on the right. Just going to go up, just bending that up towards the top of the head. It's going to round at the top, going up and then down towards the left side. Come down and then in towards the ear. Now we're going to add some layers of hair along the top of the head. Let's start from the center point, curl this up, then across, and then out and down towards the left, and then curl that up towards the point. I'm just going to bend this down and then in. Now from that center line, we're going to add some layers going over towards the right. So from this point, let's step down, go out and down, come down, and then bend that in. Let's do that again. Stepping down, go out and down, and then curve that in. Let's add one more, go out, bend this in and down. Now let's add those layers going out towards the left. Starting back on the center point, curve this up and across, go out and down. Now add a curl, going up, come down, just tuck that in towards the side of the head. Let's add another curl, going out, and then pull that in towards the side of the ear. Now from here, we're going to add one more layer, going up, out and down. I'm just going to overlap on top, come down over on top of the ear, and then in towards the side of the head. Now I'm going to go back and add some more shape to the ear. From the top, bend this down and in, and close off the earlobe. Then we're going to add some hair along the side, going out and down, back in, and add one more curl going out and in. Now from the bottom of the earlobe, let's draw a small circle, draw a line just angling down and out, and then we'll add the bottom of the earring. A straight line, come down along the side, and close off the bottom. Now from the chin, let's move over towards the left and draw the front edge of the neck. We're going to come down and then across. Let's go back up to the ear, curve the edge of the collar coming down and then in towards the front of the neck. Just underneath the ear, let's slope the shoulder, going out and then down. And then from the front, curve the body, going out and down. Now with our rough sketch in place, let's go back and lightly erase some of these guidelines. Now that we have our clean rough sketch, let's move to the tip of our pencil and start adding some more details and refining the shape. Now I'm going to start with the left eye. Start by thickening up the eyelid. Going across the top. And bringing that down on the inside. Now we're just adding a few folds along the top. Let's draw in the iris on the outside. Now we also want to add a few facets along the outside. We don't want a smooth oval. Add a few points. Draw a narrow oval in the center for the pupil. And then we're going to work our way across the bottom of the eye. Just lightly shading the outside edge of the eye. Also adding a light shade across the bottom. Now from here, it's going to draw on the eyebrow. Again, just adding some thickness on the top. Now move it over and draw on the top of the right eye. I'm just going to separate the teeth, going lightly across the side, adding those fangs. And then from here, just working our way across the profile of the head. Now we're going to go in and add a small highlight oval on the right side of the pupils. And then we're going to lightly shade the inside of the iris going around that highlight. And once we've traced out the face, we're going to go in and start adding some detail and shape to the hair. And now we're going to add those details in the forehead. Starting from the left side, just going to lightly trace this in, just capturing the shape in towards the top of the brow. Just work our way across the top. And we're just going to rough this in and come back and just detail this after. I'm just trying to balance this out with the left and right side. We'll add that same detail across the left jaw. Now once we're happy with the shape, we'll go back and just trace this out. I'm going to go in and just darken up those shapes. Now you want to add some shadows and highlights to the hair. So we start from that hair bang along the bottom. Just going to trace out the contour and shape of the shadows. Just working our way in. We're just going to place the highlights across the top edge of the hair. Also adding a few points along the way, coming in. Now I'm going to go in and darken up the shadows across the bottom of the hair. Now we're going to go back with the side edge of our pencil and add some shadows to the head. Now, as we get near the end of our drawing, we'll tighten up our shadows and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign our artwork. And that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. And if you want to draw more characters like this, you might want to check out this video over here. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.